You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices on this Friday, August 9th. Good evening, I'm Chris Palermo, and here's what's happening. A fatal shooting closed I-15 down for 7 hours, and police are looking for the person responsible. Ava Parducci has the story.
Last night, anyone traveling southbound on Interstate 15 faced major traffic disruptions after a fatal shooting took place around 8:30 p.m., as reported by Las Vegas Metro Police. A driver traveling southbound was shot by someone in another vehicle. The victim sadly lost control and crashed into the center median. They were transported to a hospital nearby where they passed away. In response to the incident, officers closed all southbound lanes of I-15 between Spring Mountain Road and Flamingo Road for over 7 hours. As of 4 a.m. this morning, the southbound lanes have reopened, but information regarding the suspect and identity of the deceased driver is yet to be released. More information to come.
And Las Vegas Metro has arrested 2 teenagers in connection to the 2 Las Vegas men that were killed in a drive-by shooting last month. Roy Rosell has this story.
2 Las Vegas teenagers have been arrested for a drive-by shooting that killed 2 men last month, according to police. The 16-year-old suspects were booked Thursday into the Clark County Detention Center for open murder with a deadly weapon. Las Vegas Metro said in a statement their names were not disclosed. Officers responded to a shooting on the night of July 13th at the 3000 block of Khatib Avenue, near Owens Avenue and Mojave Road. One man was suffering from a gunshot wound near the driveway and was pronounced deceased at the scene. Police later learned that another man had arrived at Sunrise Hospital suffering from a gunshot wound. He later succumbed to his injuries, and the Clark County Coroner's Office identified the men who were killed as 20-year-old Efren Guevara and 18-year-old Eric Roque. Investigators have determined that someone driving the car shot Guevara and Roque while they were outside of the home, in the front of the home. According to Las Vegas Metro, no further details on this investigation have been disclosed.
More news now. A man who has been on the run for 30 years for violent crimes was captured today. News 25 has this story.
A man thought to be connected to crimes in Las Vegas, Boston, and Los Angeles was captured yesterday by Los Angeles police after a lengthy vehicle pursuit. Stephen Paul Gale, a 71-year-old suspected serial rapist, has avoided capture for over 30 years. Gale first piqued police interest in 1989 with suspected involvement in rape, kidnapping, and armed robbery. He has been wanted in connection to continued violent assaults and has remained unfound due to various fake identities. Through forensic genealogy, U.S. Marshals were able to identify Gale. Additional information will be shared as this investigation progresses.
An Arizona woman is now dead after she approached renters at a residence with a knife. Roy Rosell has the details.
Last night, Thursday, August 8th, at around 7:50 p.m., Bullhead City Police were dispatched to the 900 block of Seafair Drive where a woman had been shot. Lucindy Gale Parkinson, age 49, of Bullhead City, was found deceased at the residence. The investigation revealed that Parkinson had gone to the residence to confront the renters regarding ongoing issues. She was armed with a knife and started to advance and threaten residents. Parkinson pushed one of the females against a wall, according to police. The victim had a defensive cut on her hand from Parkinson's knife when she reportedly held it to the victim's throat. A male resident grabbed a gun and demanded for her to leave the property. Parkinson reportedly charged at the male with her knife, and she was shot multiple times. The altercation occurred in the front yard of this residence. No arrests were made in this case, and the victims were very cooperative with police, according to officers. No other information was released by Bullhead City Police. News 25 will keep you updated on this developing story.
And former President Donald Trump recently spoke to news outlets from his Mar-a-Lago estate. News 25 Las Vegas correspondent Maria Centers now joins us with this briefing.
U.S. President Donald Trump addressed mass media for the first time since the DNC has positioned Kamala Harris as their presidential pick. In his remarks from Mar-a-Lago, our 45th president offered sound statistics pertaining to the everyday hardworking American just trying to make it in our own country.
The fact that you can get no votes, lose in the primary system, in other words, you had 14 or 15 people, she was the first one out, and that you can then be picked to run for president, it seems to me actually unconstitutional.
Nevada marks one of 7 vital swing states with in-person polling locations available on Election Day.
In some polls, I'm leading very big in swing states because they want safety. People want safety. They want security. They want respect all around the world for our country. They don't want this horrible culture that is developing, a culture of no common sense. It's really a culture of no common sense, and it's not what anyone wants. We want to have a safe country. We want to have a strong military. We want low interest rates, and we want to be able to have the American dream. We want to be able to have our youth be able to buy homes, housing, get good jobs. And we're really just at the opposite right now.
Numbers don't lie.
I had 107,000 people in New Jersey. You didn't report it. I'm so glad you asked. What did she have yesterday? 2,000 people? If I ever had 2,000 people, you'd say my campaign is finished. It's so dishonest, the press. And here's a great example. I had in Michigan recently 25,000 people, and 25,000 people we just couldn't get them in. We had in Harrisburg 25,000 people, and 20,000 people couldn't get in. We had so many. Nobody ever mentions that.
During our campaign coverage, KPVM television has always observed massive turnouts at all of President Trump's events.
I have 10 times, 20 times, 30 times the crowd size. And no, they never say the crowd was big. That's why I'm always saying turn around the cameras. I'm so glad you asked that. I think it's so terrible when you say, well, she has 1,500 people, 1,000 people, and they talk about, oh, the enthusiasm. Let me tell you, we have the enthusiasm. The Republican Party and me as a candidate, but the Republican Party has the enthusiasm.
We will continue to offer campaign coverage from both sides of the political spectrum as it affects our silver swing state. For News 25 Las Vegas, I'm Maria Centers.
Thank you very much, Maria. More stories coming up. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by Da Shop LV, vape and smoke accessories where you can always find the Aloha spirit. Located at 1555 East Flamingo Road in Las Vegas.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. Early last week, a TikTok video went viral for racist remarks. And here's an update on the 3 members in that video.
In an update from yesterday, 3 members of a Nevada family, Gary Miller, Janice Miller, and Tiffany Miller, were arrested after a TikTok video depicting alleged racist behavior went viral. The video, which was later removed from the platform, shows Gary Miller making racist comments and references, leading to an altercation at Firehouse Saloon in Virginia City. Gary Miller faces a gross misdemeanor charge for breach of peace, Janice Miller is charged with misdemeanor battery, and Tiffany Miller is charged with obstructing a peace officer. All 3 were booked into the Story County Detention Center with individual bail amounts. The Story County Sheriff's Office is continuing its investigation into the incident and has emphasized its commitment to addressing hate speech.
And tomorrow is National Farmers Market Day. And Heather from Master Gardeners here in Pahrump spoke with News 25 about all the details.
Hi, my name is Heather Freeman. I'm Master Gardener Coordinator with the University of Nevada, Reno. And I'd like to invite everyone to National Farmers Market Week this Saturday, August 10th, from 7:30 to 11 next to Tractor Supply. We have some raffle prizes and it'll be a lot of fun. Come on over and buy your fresh, locally grown vegetables or some plants or baked goods, special treats. We also have lots of handmade, homemade things like soaps, gifts, crochet, knitting, hand-sewn things, wooden toys. It's just amazing what creative things people have made here in Pahrump. All made by locals, handmade, homemade, homegrown. Come on over to Tractor Supply Saturday, 7:30 to 11. See you there.
Well, a renowned Pahrump program is closing its doors, and the Pahrump community faces new concerns. The somber details are here.
Tales of Nye County, an essential and renowned program specializing in trap, neuter, and returning of animals, is closing down at the end of 2024 due to financial constraints and a declining volunteer base. This is extremely somber news for the Nye County community, as for over a decade, Tales of Nye County has been a cornerstone in managing pet overpopulation and responsibility of spay and neuter assistance. Denise Scherer from Tales of Nye County delivered the heartbreaking news to the Nye County Commission. She warned of the heavy burden this will place on animal control services and pleaded with the county to quickly establish a spay and neuter clinic. Our community's pets are at risk, Scherer said urgently. Without action, we face a crisis. Animal shelter manager Christina Sigmund, though disappointed, vowed to work with Tales of Nye County to find solutions. Tales has been essential, Sigmund said. I'm committed to finding a way to cope with the impact of their closure. As Tales of Nye County approaches its final days, the community faces an urgent need to step up and fill the void to ensure that the legacy of compassionate animal care continues.
News 25 caught up with Tom Waters to talk about the Purple Heart ceremony that occurs every year on August 7th.
Hi, I'm Tom Waters. Just want to talk about the Purple Heart Day ceremony that we celebrated in the town of Pahrump. It's always held on August 7th, regardless of the day, each year. And so on August 7th at 6 p.m. at the Chief Tecopa Cemetery, in the Veterans Memorial, we had a wonderful ceremony. This year's program, 2024, the host was the American Legion. And the commander, Melinda Mills, did an outstanding job as hosting the Purple Heart Day ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Melinda Mills. I'm the commander for the American Legion Post 22 in Pahrump, Nevada. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and Purple Heart recipients, invited guests. On this day, this solemn ceremony is held once a year, August 7th. It is the Purple Heart Day. On this day in 1782, George Washington established the badge of merit, of military merit for those forerunners of the Purple Heart.
Color guard, halt, left, pace, freeze, then colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All the representatives, the commandant or the commander, commanders of the organizations or their representatives receive proclamations. They receive proclamations from Commissioner Bruce Jabor. He's an Army veteran. And those proclamations were presented by the county commissioners and the county of Nye. And so that was just truly outstanding.
And coming up, Mikey's going to tell us what's cooking on the Sunday morning classic country breakfast on the Ace Country Radio Network. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
And welcome back to News 25. Here's Mikey now to tell us what's cooking this Sunday morning on Classic Country Breakfast on Ace Country Radio and streaming on channel 25.8 and now on the new Ace Country Radio app.
Howdy. On the menu this Sunday morning on Classic Country Breakfast. Born on August 8th, Webb Pierce. We'll pay tribute to him. Also born on August 8th, Mel Tillis. We'll pay tribute to him. Born on August 11th, John Connolly. In the non and oldie but a goodie segment, my special guest Jody Nix calls the show to talk about his new album, It's About Time. Also, Dale Poney from the Lacey J. Dalton Band calls the show to talk about Lacey's new album, For the Black Sheep. He also talks about teaching guitar and songwriting at High Desert State Prison in Susanville, California.
Still doing it. Just going on 10 years now. And what I've been doing is I've been teaching guitar and songwriting to the inmates at Susanville Prison. They've been doing that there was 2 prisons up there, but now there's just the one. But yeah, and it's been pretty successful. If you go on SoundCloud, with my account on SoundCloud, I have a place called Inmate Collaborations, and you can hear some of the songs that we've done over the years.
Classic Country Breakfast this Sunday morning at 8 on Ace Country Radio, streaming at KPVM.TV, channel 25.8, and now on the new Ace Country Radio app.
Well, it's all Mikey all the time. Thank you, Mikey. Here he is again in sports. The Olympics are winding down, but plenty more action to speak of.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Las Vegas Aviators got stung last night by the Salt Lake Bees. 6-0 rematch this evening at 5:35. The Athletics are gearing up to say goodbye to fans as they announce plans for their final games in Oakland with just a little under 2 months left in the MLB regular season. On Thursday, the team released their plans for the final stretch of home games, which start on Friday, September 20th, against the New York Yankees. The A's will play at the West Sacramento Stadium, which holds little over 14,000 fans until the Las Vegas ballpark is scheduled to be completed in 2028. Only 2 more sleeps until preseason football. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Raiders, Minnesota Vikings, 1 o'clock. The Paris Olympics are coming to a close this weekend. The United States leads the medal standings overall, with China next in line. Australia, France, and Britain are vying for 3rd place. The women's basketball gold game is the last event before the closing ceremony. The closing ceremony is scheduled to begin at 9 p.m. CEST. That's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's noon Pacific, and that'll be on Sunday. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
That's the Lerner and Rowe weather cam. Fair weather clouds in Mount Charleston, right outside the studios here. We can go out there and take a break. We haven't spent too much time out there this summer because it's been too warm. We have a complete forecast coming up just a bit.
Hi, I'm Ava with News 25, and today I am back in the weather studio. Fernley had a high of 100 today, Fallon at 101, Carson City at 94, Tonopah at 93, Goldfield at 95, Beatty and Amargosa at 104, Las Vegas at 101, and Death Valley at 120. The sun rose this morning in Pahrump at 5:57 a.m., humidity at 15%, wind in the south at 8 miles per hour with a high of 105 and clear skies. The sun will set tonight at 7:40 p.m. with a humidity of 25%, wind in the east-southeast at 8 miles per hour with a low of 83. This week's forecast, you can expect clear skies with Saturday a 15% chance of rain with 12 mile per hour winds, Sunday 16 mile per hour winds, and clear skies going into next week. And that is all for today.
Thank you very much, Ava. Breaking news now. We have one vacancy in the Pahrump Regional Planning Commission, the Capital Improvements Advisory Committee. So there is a vacancy, unexpired term to end June of 2026, and an application and questionnaire can be downloaded online for persons interested. That's at the Pahrump Planning Office, 2041 East Calvada Boulevard, or call them at 775-751-4245. So those applications are accepted no later by the end of the month, Friday, August 30th, by 5 p.m. Again, there is one vacancy, the Pahrump Regional Planning Commission, who also sits on the Capital Improvements Advisory Committee. Of course, we'll keep you updated on this story and more news and information out to you right here on News 25. Chris Palermo, News 25. Make it a great night.